Yeah, good morning, everyone. Let us continue the class. Let me share my screen. Yeah, hope you are able to see my screen. Can someone confirm, please?
Yes, Karthik.
Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, so you might have got the Ashok IT portal access, correct? AshokITtech.com. Once you log into this portal, you can see your dashboard. In this dashboard, you can see this design patterns class. So when you click on the view notes, I have uploaded the notes of singleton design pattern and the factory pattern. So the factory pattern we are going to see today. Now, if you want to download, just click on this one. See, if I click, say it is this kind of a PDF document gets open. You click on this download option, it gets downloaded. I'll be uploading the code as well. Okay. So can someone try accessing and let me know if you're able to see this both?
Sir, how about video, sir?
Videos, you should have already got an email from the Teachable, correct?
Okay.
Check your email in the inbox or spam. So there is a website called Teachable. So Ashok IT has had it tie up with a Teachable. So there you can see all the videos will be posted over there every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Can someone try this one and let me know?
Yes, Karthik. I'm able to download it.
Okay, and you're able to download both, right?
I tried with singleton. Let me try factory.
Okay.
Yes, I downloaded both.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's good. So I'm adding the code as well for singleton. So all the three classes, let me add it. Okay. Okay, it is overriding. I need to, okay, let me do one thing. Let me make it to zip folder. Send to compressed zip folder. And then let me attach this folder here. Okay, submit. So whatever the code that we have written, I have uploaded that to this website. You can download and you can look at it. And at the end of the course, I'll be consolidating entire notes, code, interview questions, everything, and I'll be giving you the zip folder. So that will be at the end of the course. But during the course, if anybody wants to look at it, you can look at here. Okay. Now, so any questions so far on this, anyone? Any questions on the material, anyone? For recordings, you have received an email from the Teachable. You just log into the Teachable, you will be able to see the recordings. Okay, so now let's look at the factory pattern. Now, the basic idea of a factory pattern is this one. The factory pattern, or it is also called as a factory method pattern, it just says that define an interface or abstract class for creating an object but let the subclasses decide the which class to instantiate. Okay, so now I will take an example and then I will explain you. So what we are trying to do is, now whenever you take any website, whenever I say any website, in the sense, let me take insurance policy. It can be a home insurance, vehicle insurance, anything. Or if you take the banking sector, or insurance, or e-commerce. So whatever may be the application, whenever you do any transaction, do you get a message? Yes or no? If I deposit some money, or if I take some LIC policy or pay the premium, if I order something from the Amazon or Flipkart or Swiggy, so will I get a message?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, you will also get a email. Okay. Yes or no? So these are the notifications. So currently you are getting a notification in the form of message, in the form of email. So this was there at the earlier. Nowadays, when for each and every application, so each and every e-commerce or banking, they are coming up with their own app, correct? For Swiggy, you have a Swiggy app. For Amazon, you have Amazon app, Zomato, Uber, Ola, everything. Whenever you're downloading these apps, apart from these, so you also getting a notification, push notification on your home screen? You can say that, for example, if I'm ordering something from the Swiggy, so delivery, like delivery, so your item is shipped, your item is ready for delivery, and then he has reached to your location, and then it is delivered. So you're getting a message, email at the same time. You're also getting a notification. Am I right? Yes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Right.
this kind of a, so that means now what we are doing is we are trying to create something simple notification. Now how can I do this notification with a factory pattern? Now these notifications can be part of any application. You take any application, whatever you do, you have to notify the customer. So what we are trying to do is, so I assume that today we have message notification, email notification. So recently the push notification is coming. Now in future, there may be some other kind of a notification also will be coming, correct? But your code should be able to handle it. And whenever there is something new is coming, so for example, you have developed one API, okay, one code, and you are giving it to client, and he is calling your API and then sending the messages or sending the notifications. Now in future, if any new notification is coming, so does your client needs to modify the code? If it is modifying, then can I say it's a tightly coupled?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like, so you have to see whether whatever the change is happening in yours, your client should not be worried about it, right? So there may be a minimal changes, but you don't need to redesign the entire application, correct? So in order to do this, we go for a factory. In the factory, as I mentioned, so we will create one interface or abstract class, and then there is a class called factory, which will decide which class object to be created. So let me tell you the structure first. Let's create first, we will create first interface. Interface called notification. I'm creating a notification interface. Now, in this one interface, we'll have a abstract methods, correct? Now let me create one notify method. So it's an abstract method. Okay, now done. Now what also, let us take that for time being, we have a two-way communications of notification. That is, one is through SMS and through his email. Now in order to facilitate this feature, what I will do is I will create a class called SMS notification. Class SMS notification implements notification. And then I will override this notify method, correct? Whenever I implement an interface, can I say that I have to override the notify method? I mean, abstract method, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Now sys out, I will write message. So that means this notify method present in the SMS notification will class will have the logic to send a message, correct? So we are not interested here, because if you see here, this is it becomes a different logic. But what I am doing at high level skeleton is I am creating a class, one class called SMS notification, that is implementing a notification. And in this, whenever I'm implementing an interface, I need to override the logic. Whenever I'm overriding the logic, what is the logic I need to mention in the notify? I will write a code to trigger the SMS. Okay. Now, similarly, there is another messaging system, notification system called email currently. Now I will write email notification. Okay. Implements notification. Okay, done. Now I will override the notify method. Whenever I override the notification method, I will write sys out notify. I'm like email notification. I mean, like here, I will write the functionality to trigger an email. But here, the main thing is we are talking about factory pattern, but we are not interested in how to trigger a message, how to trigger an email. So in order to trigger an email, there is a API called mail API, you can use it. Okay. But that is not the thing that we are discussing here. So now these are the two things. Now, in order to, I created an interface called notification. It has an abstract method called notify. And I'm creating a class called SMS notification. It is implementing a notification and overriding the notify method. Same thing for an email. Now, can I say that I have two classes? Yes or no? Which is doing the work. Now, what I will do is, now I am creating another class called factory. In this factory, now I will create one method, create notification. This is the class that my client will call. To this create notification method, he will send one input. Mode of notification, mode. What is a mode? It can be a SMS or it can be an email. He can send whatever he wants. Now, what this method will do inside this method, I will write if mode equal to SMS. Then what I will do? I will create a SMS object. SMS class, since it is a class, I will create a SMS object and then return it. Okay, what this method will return? It will return an object of notification. Okay, now here, whenever I'm creating, I will create notification n equal to new SMS notification. So guys, can someone tell me what is this one, right? Creating an object like this. Return n. Whenever I'm creating a notification n equal to new SMS notification, what does it mean?
We are creating a notification object.
Okay, but why can't I do like this SMS notification? See here, this is a class name, but am I using the class name here?
Interface, actually notification interface.
Yeah, so that means I am creating a parent reference and passing the child, correct?
Yes.
So this is similar to the list. Generally, we do list L equal to new array list, correct? Yes or no? Do you guys know what is the usage of creating object like this? Why not I should do like this? Array list L equal to new array list. Does anyone know this is the most thing used in your project? Am I right? List L equal to new array list.
Yes.
Okay. Can't see, since array list is a class, shall I do like this or not?
Yes, we can do like that also.
But why are we not doing this one in the real-time projects? Okay, I will explain. Okay, I will explain this. Don't worry. But here, notification n equal to new SMS notification. Can I say that this object creation is similar to this one? List L equal to new array list. That means interface reference, I'm adding it to the child class, right? Now, similarly, if mode equal to email, he's sending email, then what I will return? Notification n equal to new email notification and return n. Okay, so this is my factory code.
I think, Karthik, it's because when you refer, instead of SMS notification, if you write notification, the return type can be notification instead of SMS notification. That is a flexibility you are getting it by the defining.
Yes, that is a flexible.
Mainly polymorphism.
Yeah, polymorphism is coming actually.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one example. Now, for example, let me write a display method. One method I'm writing. In the display method, for example, display method is taking an array list object, array list L equal to L. Now, then whenever you're calling, can you pass linked list object?
Yeah.
I'm writing here display array list equal to L. Let me quickly do it.
You can't.
Correct?
If it is a list interface, then you can pass anything, but you can't now.
Yeah, that is the advantage. So
if you define it as a list object, then you can pass linked list or array list, anything.
Yeah, but if I'm defining it as an array list, I cannot pass. If I'm defining the parent, I can pass all the childs, correct?
Correct.
So that is the advantage. This is also polymorphism only, right? So this is the advantage, you are able to get it. So that's the reason generally we prefer this one, not this one.
Okay, that is the only reason we are able to, adapt this factory method. Otherwise, it is not possible, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So now I have created a class called factory. Inside this, I have created a create notification. Okay. Now, so this is my factory pattern. Okay. Now, if my client, I have a main method, I'm writing some other class called test. Okay. Some other person is calling wanted to use my factory. Okay. To further triggering the nodes. Now, in the test class, I will create a main method. Inside this main method, so do I need to tell my client that I'm using a SMS notification class or email notification class? No. Client should not be worried about what classes I'm using. Client should be worried about only the factory method, factory class. He has to create an object of factory class and call the create notification method. Now what the client will do? Factory F equal to new factory. Okay. And then what he has to do? F dot create notification. Now, and then he has to mention what notification he want to do. Is it a SMS notification or triggers? That means he is sending some string input, SMS. Okay, and he will get a notification object, correct? Notification N. Now, on top of this N, I will call the notify method. Okay, now this is a client code. This is a client code. Now, by looking at this client code, can the client will be able to see what child class object is created?
No.
No, he'll not be able to guess it, correct? So who is taking that work? My factory is creating the work, correct? Now, if you look at the definition, so a factory pattern is a pattern that says define an interface or abstract class for creating an object, but let the subclass decide which class to instantiate it. So now here, who is deciding? The factory class is deciding based on the mode that they pass. The factory class is deciding what kind of an object to be created. Now, for example, currently we have, and he may say that create notification SMS or email. In future, now currently I am developing one app. Now, what is the new thing I can see? I can see that one push notification is coming. Okay. Now, in order to create, so currently my application, whatever I have written, it does it hold the logic of push notification?
No.
Now, if I want to, that means what I'm doing, this is a functionality. Can I say that I wanted to extend the functionality to the push notification? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, what extra, where and all I need to change? So I will tell my client, if you want to do the push notification, you need to pass the string as a push, correct? If he is passing, so that means, is he modifying any code? No, he's just passing one more input argument, correct? So is there any change in the code? No. Then what I will do first I need to do, so do I need to touch these classes, SMS notification and email notification? No. That means I am not modifying the previous code. What I'm doing, I will create one more class called push notification, correct? Okay, and then implements notification. And then I will override the notify method. In this notify method, what I will write? I will write the logic to push, how the push message has to happen, correct? How the notification can be pushed, I will write here. Now in my factory method, I need to do the again, right? So in the factory method, what I'm doing, I'm just adding one more. If mode equal to push, notification n equal to new push notification, correct? Now that means, so now can I say that by this one, does my client is affected with my code? Do I need to change the code of my client?
No.
So, but if you are trying to do this without a design pattern, if you see, for example, I have written these many classes and code. Now, how can I do this without a design pattern?
And directly creating the without this, if you don't use the polymorphism, then you'll end up in modifying the code every time, and a lot of functional every time the regression testing for all the cases you need to do.
Yeah, I don't need to create all of this, right? I just need to create one class and create multiple methods. You give the client, use this method, correct? For SMS, you call this method. For email, you call this method. For push notification, you call this method. That means your client code also has to be modified, correct? That is normal way of doing. But if you are following this factory pattern, That's the change. Is there any change to the client code whenever you change it, add a new functionality? No. So whenever I am trying to see here, just now we have added a push functionality. In order to provide the push functionality, did I modify my previous code, SMS and email notification?
No.
No. But what I have done, I have created one class, new class called push notification, and then implemented it. That means without modification, I'm extending the functionality, correct?
Yeah.
So do you guys see in the solid principles, one principle is telling O means open closed principle, correct? Open closed. What does it mean open closed principle? Closed for modification, open for extension and closed for modification, correct? Open
Yes.
for extension and closed for modification. Now, can I say that if you are following this open closed principle, can I say that there is no, there is no harm? You don't need to do multiple. See, whenever I'm following the open closed principle, whenever I'm implementing the push notification, do I need to do the testing of SMS and email? Is it required?
No need.
Non required. But so that means by writing this factory pattern, I'm also following the open closed principle, correct?
Yeah.
Open closed principle says that open for extension, closed for modification. What does the closed for modification means? Whenever you're trying to modify the code, don't modify the existing implementation. For example, here, if I have a normal, if I don't follow any data, any design pattern, this functionality, if I want to implement, what I will do, I will simply create one class called notification. Okay. Now in this class, I will create one method called one method for SMS notification. So write email notification, done, and push notification. So here in this say, I am writing a new method, but whenever you are using a same class, sometimes you may use the same global variables inside this and inside this. So that time the functionality will be modified. So now you need to test entire functionality. But whenever I'm following the open closed principle and implementing the factory pattern, I don't need to do that. Correct? So now what is the factory pattern definition says? So you need to create now, instead of a interface, a notification, can I create abstract class?
We can.
Yes, it's a different way of doing it. When you can go for abstract class, you want to create a non-abstract method, you can go it. But from Java 8, you can even create a static and default methods, right? And if you want to basically from Java 8 onwards, when you can go for a construct interface or when you can go for an abstract class, if there is some work you are doing in a constructor, then you go for a abstract class. Because abstract class is a class, even though you cannot create an object, can I have a constructor?
Yes.
Now how that constructor will be invoked?
Super.
Yeah, from the child class, right? So whenever I'm saying, for example, if I make this notification as abstract class, SMS notification extends notification. Then whenever I'm creating a SMS notification object, my parent class constructor will be invoked, correct? So the only thing from Java 8, after introduction of Java 8, when you can go for abstract class, when you can go for an interface. Whenever you want to work with a constructor, then go for an abstract class. Whenever you want to like a static value or final values, you don't need to modify anything, then you can go for an interface. And another thing is multi-threading, like multiple inheritance. With interface, you can do multiple inheritance, but with the abstract class, directly you cannot do multiple inheritance. You can do with a multi-level inheritance. That means you have a class called A, another class B, another class C. Now what can C extends A comma B? Can I write?
No.
You can't. Java doesn't support.
Yeah. So in order to, but I want to implement it. What I can do? I can write B extends A and C extends B. Can I write like this? Two?
Yeah, you can. Multi-level is supported.
Yeah. So that means in Java, using a extends keyword, I can implement a multiple inheritance by following the multi-level, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So any questions on the factory? Shall we write the code?
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Yeah, let me write in this one itself, factory pattern. Okay, now let's make it maximize. Now, so what are we doing first? We are creating an interface. Okay, so guys, we can separately create a like new interface, or in the one class itself we can write. So wherever the class you are writing a main method, that should be public, and remaining all you need to remove the public access modifier. Okay, now interface notification. Then what is the abstract method? Public void notify. So this is the abstract method I'm writing. Okay. Okay, why am I getting this? Okay, it is okay. Can someone tell me why am I getting compilation error? Because this notify
might be a method of object.
Yeah. So in the object class, there is a method called notify method, correct?
Yes.
So it is assuming that we are trying to override it, but that is not my purpose. So let me keep fi instead of y. Okay. Now let me create a class SMS notification. Implements. Sorry guys, someone is trying to write on my screen. It shows yellow color, so I just removed it and again shared it. So I'm writing notification. Okay. Now I have to override the notify method, correct? Let me override the add unimplemented methods notify. Let me write. So triggering notification through SMS. Now, can I say I have to create another class for email? Yes. Let's copy this and then write. Instead of SMS, let me create email. And here I will write email. Done. Now what I have to do, I have to create a factory pattern, right? Factory class. Class factory. So there is no guarantee that you need to keep factory only, guys. You can, sorry. You can try write without some other name also. But for time being, it would be good. So I am writing this one. Okay. Let me copy this one. Keep it here. Factory. Now, do I need to implement? No. What I will write in this one, I will write one method called trigger notification or create notification. Anything is fine. Create notification. Done. What does a notification has to do? It has to return this object, whether you are triggering a email notification or SMS notification. But what is the parent of this one? This one. So I will return this object. Yes. If I want to return, this has to take one string mode. What I will write here, if mode dot equals ignore case with SMS. Okay, then what I will do, notification n equal to new SMS notification. Done. Then return n. Let me copy the same thing. Okay, now let me try email. Now what I will return email notification. Yeah. Now if something else, then return null. Okay, done. Now this is my factory. Now what, so for example, if I have a client, so there is a factory pattern I have created. Now if someone wants to use this one, that person is called as a client. Now that client code I'm writing in the main method, because if all the code is in one place, then it is easy for us to execute. The client is the code which will have the main method. Now the client will not look at this code. See, I can write this main method some other place also, but for the easy executable purpose, I'm writing it here. Okay. Now what the client will do, what he will do, he will create an object of factory f equal to new factory. Done. Now, in order to call the trigger the message, what he will do, he will create a create notification and he will enter SMS. Then what this method is returning? Notification object. Correct? So it is returning a parent object, guys. Notification object it is returning. Does it return SMS notification to them? No. He does not care about whether what the client does not know what child class is getting triggered, right? That logic is handled by the factory. So the factory method will design which class to be instantiated. Now on top of n.notify. Now can you guys tell me, whenever I say n.notify, which class notify method will be invoked?
SMS one.
Okay. Now if I pass email, then which class notify method will be invoked? Email. But does the client know? So see, here you are looking at the code, you are able to see. But I have assumed that I have written this one and I did not tell you anything. Whenever you are writing this code, do you bother about what class is you're triggering the method and all? Do you know about what is a child class and all? No. You are given with just a parent reference only, correct? Now, if any other new thing has to be implemented, now let us run the program. Or before that, let us debug it. Okay. Now let me keep a debugger point everywhere. SMS notification. Look at here. Yeah, whoever is not speaking, please go on mute. Yeah. Now debug as Java application. Yeah. So if I try, so f dot create notification. So it is going to the create notification method. See, since it is matched with a mode, it has written SMS object. On top of that, you are getting return null. Okay, done. So here n dot notify. So I have multiple things. Look at here. It will go to the SMS notification. Done. So if I say email, see, it will go to the email. It will create. So that means who is taking the decision of which class object to be created? My factory. That is what mentioned here. But let the subclass decide which class to instantiate. Okay. Now that is the meaning of factory. Now here I'm returning the email instance object and then notify. It will call the email notification. Now in future, if I want to extend this functionality to the push notification, so what I need to do, I will create a class called push notification. Okay. See, look at here. I'm extending the functionality. I'm not modifying the existing code. Now let me write push. Okay. In this method, you can call some other method and do the logic. It's a different topic, correct? But how the design pattern is used, this is how. Now here, can I say in my factory, I just need to create an instance. Push, then I will create a push notification object. Okay. What does my factory is doing? My factory is also not doing anything. My factory is based on the user preference. I'm creating a child class object to be object. So I'm then returning it. Okay. Now in this way, what if my client has to do? Does my client code is changing anything? No. It's just giving you new input. Correct. Push. And then call, right? No, n2.notify. So will it call push notification? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So now am I extending the functionality? Yes. So even if I am extending the functionality, is there any change for my client code? That means who is calling my method? Do they require about anything? Right? I just need to tell them that hey, my code is completed, you can call it. Now he might ask you, what is the changes you have done? No, you are least bothered about those changes. You call whatever you have. Just pass the string as a push. The work will be done, correct? So if now, why are we using this pattern here? If you are not using the pattern, then client code has to be modified. So that means it is tightly, your code is tightly coupled with a client code. Then you need to deploy both the applications. So that is a problem. But here, whenever you're getting some functionality, your client is, whoever is calling it, they don't need to do any code change. You are making sure that, first of all, they do not know what is the logic you are writing, which class object you are creating. And at the same time, if your code is changing, they don't need to change any code. So you are extending the functionality, but you're not modifying the code. So this is following open closed principle as well. Now, I'm not saying that only factor pattern will follow the open closed. Now, since the topic has come, so I have explained that we are extending the functionality without modification. Whenever you are extending the functionality without modification, that is called open closed principle. So by writing the factory pattern, I am also following the open closed principle. Does any questions, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at in Java, where are we using this one? So we have a get instance, so calendar. In the calendar class, we have, do you remember, we will pass the date type, correct? Based on that, different objects will be created, right? So in the get instance method, okay, create, okay, you are taking the format. By using the format, multiple blocks will be calculated. See here. So it is get instance is a singleton pattern. At the same time, look at here. So based on the type here, if it is a Unicode CA, so it's depending on that you are writing a switch case character. If it is null, then something else, right? So there is some more examples. Let us see. This is java.util, right? Let us take calendar. I don't have the java.sql. Now let me open it in the SQL. I'm opening the decompiler. In the first class, I know you guys, I hope you guys know about the decompiler, correct? So I'm opening the SQL package. In the SQL package, there is a class called calendar also. Where it is? Okay, let me try here. Is it removed in Java? No, it should be there. What else? Let's open the java.util.calendar. It's the same code. Okay. We should have java.sql.calendar as well, right? Okay, I'll figure it out. I hope that there should be two calendars. One is util and one is SQL. I'll figure it out that. Okay, but let's see here. Okay, so I'm just going through the notes. A factory pattern says that define an interface or abstract class, and let the subclasses decide which object to instantiate. The factory method in the interface lets a class defer instantiation to one or more other concrete classes. So this is what we are doing in the what you call in the factory class. The factory class is deciding which class to be instantiated. Okay. Okay. Now in factory pattern, we create objects without exposing the creation logic to the client. So now, whenever I'm creating an object, does my client know which object I'm creating? No. He's just calling my create notification method, and then he's getting a notification object, but he does not know whether I'm creating SMS notification or email notification or put notification. No. So that is the meaning of this statement. Okay. Now, yeah. So this is also called as virtual constructor. Okay. Now let me tell you another example. Now, so whenever you are doing a POC, so one of the most common thing is whenever you are doing a POC, generally you guys will do H2 database. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. So now once, but in the when you are going for a development of UAT phase or QA phase or production, that time do you do the H2 database?
No.
No. So that means can I say that first, in order for the POC purpose, I'm using a H2, but the queries, everything is different, same, right? Even H2 also you can write select start from and all, but the getting the connection is different. H2 will come automatically in the Spring Boot. But when it comes to the Oracle, you can write a JDBC connection, or you can also use the Spring provided application.properties to get the connection.
Yeah,
I mean,
JPA
you can use it. So what I will mention is, now for time being, so if you are in this scenario, in order to do the POC, H2 you have done. Now later your client may ask you, no, I don't want H2. Can you please do this demonstration using Oracle? Okay. Again, if you are following the factory pattern, what you need to do just, so you in notify means, can I say that DB implementation? I'm writing DB implementation one method. Now in the H2 database, you are implementing this DB implementation, and in this DB implementation method, you will create H2 database connection, correct? Using JPA. Okay. Using JPA. Okay. Now, for example, your client is, after showing this, your client is asking, no, I want my Oracle database or some MongoDB. So can I say that MongoDB connection will be different from the H2 connection? Executing the queries, everything is different or not?
Yes, correct.
Now, can I say you will create another class, and here you will mention MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB connection, and then you will mention that code here. Now, whenever your client is saying that, so first POC H2 is done, now you are doing MongoDB. So you just give the database name, automatically corresponding object will be created, and your code will be called, correct? Yes or no? You don't need to rewrite the entire code. So this is also another, what you call, if factory pattern example, this is how I can also say. So the best example is this notification, because these kind of notifications are used in all the projects, right? Whenever you take any project, any real-time project, it will have SMS or email or push notification. So this can be the good one. Or if you want to tell that implementation like POC you're doing, and later you're dying with the POC with something else, then at that time, but for selecting the database, I can go for a factory pattern. Any questions?
No, sir. Clear.
Do you guys understand the code?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have written that also, like guys here, consider the example of multiple database servers like SQL Server, Oracle. So I have mentioned that. Okay. Now see here, get instance method of java.util calendar, and then there is in the number format. I think in the number format and resource bundle. Let us see number format. Yeah. So here something, okay. Based on the format, you are getting an object written. Okay, it is returning, no, not this. I think get instance. Get instance. Get instance. Yeah. So they have written a switch case here. But see, what is the get instance method is returning? Number format object. That means it is following the I think it will follow the singleton. At the same time, instead of writing multiple classes, they have written a switch case. Based on the case, you will get an object, a different object, right? So this is also one of the example where the factory pattern is used. Now it comes to your project. In your project, whether the factory is used or not, how do you know? What is the best way I can say is, whoever is using the factory pattern, generally they will write something like a factory here. So you go to the file search, write factory, and then keep star. Starting and ending, keep the star. So there is no guarantee that you have to write the factory class as a factory only, but as a good practice, some people will write it. So if you want to search in your project, what you can do, star factory star, and then star.java and click on search. Wherever that is used, see, look at here. I have used factory pattern example. So here also you can see, correct? Wherever the factory keyword is used, you will get it. And then open the code and check whether it is following the same thing or not. Okay, so that's about the factory pattern, guys. I will upload this code, no, I mean like program also. Let me do it now itself, since you guys are on the call.
So Karthik, one question.
Yeah.
Can value of will be also known as like factory pattern code? Value of
Okay,
value of also gives you the different types of objects, correct? And like if you want to convert.
string dot value of, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what the value of method will do, it will take some integer or double anything, and then it will convert into a string object, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I haven't seen the code, but look at the implementation, and then we can say that. That can be the example, but look at the implementation.
Sure.
Okay, so I have uploaded the factory pattern. Okay, factory pattern code. Okay, so I have uploaded that too. So we'll see another pattern tomorrow. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Any questions, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, guys, please practice it, because as and when we go, we'll discuss. You will get confused with what pattern is doing what. So that is a problem with this. Whenever I explain, it looks good, but whenever you practice it, you will see each and every pattern how we are discussing. Maximum, I will do the program like this for each and every pattern. I'll try myself maximum my best to make you understand. Okay. So if no question, that's all for today. Sorry, I was late by 10 minutes.
Share the document, the WhatsApp.
Yeah, I have shared it already in the Ashok IT Tech. You can download it from Ashok IT Tech.
Okay, not on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I can share there also, but WhatsApp, the people are like, you change your phone or you reinstall it, you can delete it, right?
Okay.
But in the
Yeah.
website, yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, Karthik.